Alright, we're not working too hard today, we're just kind of hanging out. And I am pulling information from some of my systems and building some training docs. So you guys are welcome to hang out with me while I do that. Let me know if you got any questions, if I can explain anything. If you've been doing the Linux Systems Administration course and you want to ask me anything about that, feel free. If you're getting stuck on anything, let me know. I am, again, just kind of hanging out and making sure that I pull some information for... I'm doing some training stuff, but then I also got asked to do some stuff for a little work project, so I'm going to do that as well right now. Ranger check. You guys want to see Ranger already? Yeah, let's go see what Ranger's up to. Hold on a second here. There's Ranger. That's Ranger check. Never fear, the Boris is here. There you get to see what Ranger looks like. There he is, laying downstairs. Got a little bit of a different camera angle because my brother came over and took all the tables the other day, all the tables and chairs, and I had it up on a chair, so... Yeah. So we're doing stuff. Also, we need to go figure out, if you guys look, my server data is all down. So one of my servers is not doing what it should be. But I'll go look at that here in a second. First time seeing Ranger. Yeah, Ranger's a great dog. All right, hold on. Then they want a net stat. Alright, I'm going to grab all that and throw that to a file called temp. Let's call it let's see. In here, it looks like I'm not seeing. Well, I guess some of these devices don't have InfiniBand, so that would make sense. Okay, all right. I'm gonna go more on temp. Enzo Bear, yeah. Should have been named that cat. So Ranger, man, he's been my dog a while, but he was not. I did not name Ranger. Name one of your cats Vim. That's pretty funny. All right. So let me look at all systems ports. It doesn't look like these came all in order, so that's not great. Let me try. I'll try this a little different. Ansible, oops. Ansible all -m shell -a. To there. See if that one looks better. Everybody else, hope you're jamming out. We're not working too hard. Oh, it looks like some of my data's back. Looks like I'm getting my data again, so that's good. That stuff wasn't coming through a little while ago. I was gonna have to go troubleshoot it again. It's looking a little better here. this output here. Go throw it over here. And I'm going to pull that down here to this machine, and then I'm going to pull it back. We're going to fork by 100, so if you guys ever use Ansible, you want to fork by enough to actually get what you need to done quickly. Let's see if I get the output a little better here. Alright. Alright. Go here, pull it down. Chmod 644 on that. Oops, chmod, not chmode. And then pull it down. And then chmod 644. Okay. Readable here, so now I pull it down to my local machine, and then I'm going to push it up to the customer. Champagne at 192.168.11.245, which is my local machine. Temp and the name of the system that I want to pull down. And then once I pull it down, oops, I get my data. Get all the tasty data. That's the goal. All right, then go make sure that I have it. And pull down the data. Just open it with Notepad. There we go. Yep, all right. Alright, so I need to go find the link that they sent me for all that info. And now I just need to pull this over. Drop it in there. Confirm. Send. Alright. That's it. That's all we had to do there, guys. So, what's everybody working on today? I know I always ask that down the Discord, but it's like, what's everybody doing? It's Monday. If you didn't get all your studying done for last week on whatever you were working on, you get to start over on Monday, right? If you didn't get all your work done, I guess you get to start over anyways. Look, there's Ranger again. Good old Ranger, man. Look at that guard dog. Look at him down there guarding me from everything. Think anything's getting past him? Look at him. Think anything gets past that dog down there? No. Not even close. It's actually pretty nice, though. What Phoenix is somewhere around 80 today, so we're not nearly as hot as we have been. That's kind of nice. It's nice. I mean, shoot, we're almost in November and we're barely breaking out of the 116s. Jeez, that was terrible. I think it was October 7th. That's the latest it ever hit that height of temperature. So, all right. So I got that stuff going. Got this other stuff going. Video games playing there. We're up to level 43 on our Panda Man. If you guys have never seen Progress Quest, that's a game that's 22 years old that I just think is hilarious. And other than that, I'm working on a different screen, so I'm kind of co-working through some lab stuff. So if you guys have any questions or want to ask me anything about Systems World, let me know. Other than that, I'm just putting together training and getting that stuff going still. So I actually need to start on Lab 4 stuff. So I might pull this thing down and make it into my Lab 4. Call that Lab 4.1, and we'll restart the numbering at 1. Let's go do something else too while we're hanging out. We'll check on how healthy all our Ansible. Let's go see how healthy all of our servers are real quick. We need to make sure that all of our nodes for labs are up. Make sure nothing's unreachable, right? I like to make sure that the environment's clean for everybody. Looks like it's pretty clean. Looks like we might even have 1 or 2 people in there doing stuff. So that's good. One of these days I need to actually put that together a little better, where I change that over and then have the I do intend to put a little bit more monitoring to that. I just haven't gotten around to doing it. So I have a lot of stuff on there that's doing monitoring and sending data around in the environment. I just haven't gotten around to like cleaning it all up and making it work a little better. So yeah, so labs are all up. If anybody needs access to lab systems, that's down in our Discord. You just go in there and you should be able to figure that out. I think most people have been able to figure that out all right. So what am I doing? I'm working on a different screen. So Enzo Bear, it's good. I made a printout yesterday of the 30 pages that I had done over the weekend, and I just wanted to go print it at like FedEx Kinko's and see kind of what it looked like, and it ended up being pretty good so far. So I have probably another 10. I have 30 labs done right now, but I'm going to try to make another 4 or 5, kind of get it cleaned up a little better even, and then go print up my official copies to take with me, because I'm going to bring them out there with me. I mean, it's just going to be a few of these books, these little books or whatever, and it should be good. One thing I can show you guys, let me see if let me see what our Discord looks like here. Hold on, let me see if I start up Discord, let me see if this thing pops up for you guys to see real quick. Pop this up, pop this back up, and then we actually got to go here and look at it. There's our actual Discord. Yeah, oh, you know what? Hold on. We gotta take Discord off of streamer mode, because Discord's got this weird thing. If it's in streamer mode, it won't show up for us. Hold on here. Hold on. Get it there. Make them pop up, and then we need to put them in front of stuff. So, all right, there we go. Let me pull this Discord up for you guys real quick. I'll even put it in front of the putty because it's going to be disappearing here in a little bit. Pull this up real quick. So if you guys haven't seen this before, in our Discord, and let me go pull it up real quick for you guys. We have a whole bunch of stuff. Looks like people are down there talking, so you can go hang out down there. But we have a projects channel, and if you go into the projects channel, you can get involved with our Professional Linux Users Group 16-week course that we started. We're in week 6 of it right now, and I was trying to figure out how I'm going to play that week that I'm gone, because I'm not going to be back on Saturday to do Unit 8. So what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to run it like this. I'm going to do 7 and 8 next week, but you guys are going to have 2 weeks to do them, basically. Like, I'm going to compress them, teach them together. I'll record them separately, though, that weekend, next weekend. 7 and 8 will be together, but then you guys will have the 2 weeks to do them. And then on that Saturday, I'll try to get Sending, because Sending Grounds was going to come and talk to you guys. I'm going to try to get him to come and run the group, even though I'll be gone. So that'll be kind of my goal. So that's down here in the Prologue Projects. And if you're really stuck and you're trying to catch up, you go to the Beginner Starts here. And we've got a playlist right here for you guys. and this playlist should be the first 6 recordings on YouTube, so you guys have access to like everything, right? I'm not hiding anything from you guys. You don't have to pay anything for it. All you got to do is go hang out, right? Just hang out and do whatever. So, Bob Data, how's it going? 80 Quartz, say how studying Linux after a long day, getting the brain fried in the office. Yeah, I'm hanging at home all day most of the time, so I didn't get as much done as I wanted to for work. And then the wife's coming home. So, guys, I'm kind of using you guys a little bit, and I'm going to apologize a little bit, but not too much. The wife is going to be landing and coming into Phoenix and getting home in about 3 hours. So I'm kind of using you guys to burn the time for me. And, I apologize for having to use you like that. But on the other side, it makes it go quicker until I get to see my wife. So when she gets here, like, I'll have to drop off later. But until then, I can sit and kind of work on some stuff if that's okay. Yeah, wear my teeth. Thanks for being here. And Fareed, Javed, I hope this stuff's useful to you. We are, again, not working too hard, but we're just kind of playing around with stuff. People are asking questions. I was just explaining what the course looks like for people that are interested in that stuff. I've heard no less than 3 people say that they've learned more in that course already than they did in college classes. And I've heard people say that they like that more than college classes. And I'm like, well, funny story. I've been teaching college a long time, so that kind of looks a lot like if I were teaching a college class. That's got a lot of the same aspects of what we want in a course like that. I want you to do some theory. I want you to do some hands-on. I want you to think about stuff and then interact with other people and see their ideas and understand that we don't operate in a vacuum, right? One, I think it would be really boring if I was just so smart that I knew everything and nobody could ever compete with my ideas. I'm not, but let's just say you were. You'd be really bored, right? Whereas when we're learning stuff, it's nice to hear things from other people's perspectives. I just spun you guys all off this week on firewalls. Excuse me. And you guys are over there kicking around firewalls, and then you start comparing a web application firewall to like a firewall at layer 3 or 4 firewall, and different people are going to notice different things, and different people are going to find different resources. So I think you're going to find all kinds of stuff. Bedless Blade, bro, Discord changed the notif sound and I was confused for a few hours. Yeah, sorry about that too, guys. One other thing too is Fisherman runs a lot of the bots in our channels and stuff, and he was working on some of the bots today, so they sent a few more alerts than we normally would expect. We try to keep alerts down, right? Like, you don't want to be the noisy server on Discord. I get it. Like, nobody wants to hear like 30 alerts that we're all messing around in the server, so we do try to keep those down. But he was working on the bot today, so I always tell people, like, you can go in and mute a channel for like 4 hours or something. You can actually mute things, and then it'll say until you turn it back on or until like a whatever. So yeah. Where my teeth? I don't know. I literally just started streaming, so I can't imagine why it says I've been on for 19 or 6 hours or whatever. I set it up earlier to do some stuff, and then my system restarted. That was kind of funny. Oh yeah, I got a video of what happened. I'll drop it in the Discord if you guys want, in the complaints channel. I was like, this is my complaint. BSOD. Who knows what a BSOD is? BSOD. Yeah, I know. I should probably just run Linux everywhere, but that's neither here nor there. Yeah, I don't know why. I mean, I didn't go live earlier, but I thought about it. It was bad. Oh, it was fucking bad. Hold on. I'll drop it in Discord real quick. Hold on. It was real bad. I gotta do it off my other phone though, or I gotta do it off my phone. But I know that you guys are always gonna make fun of me, but I'll drop it up there. You guys want to see it? Oh, hold on. Let me bring this one back real quick. Hold on. And then I'll go grab it. Hold on. Yeah. So here's my complaint from earlier. All right, let me stop the music real quick. Hold on. All right, you guys ready? Yeah, that's it. That's my whole complaint. That sound was coming out of my computer. Yeah, that's it. That's my whole complaint. God, that pissed me off. Still kind of mad about that. Anyways, so get back to the music. We'll start the music over again. The jam is jamming. Bob, it's about a 2-year-old Dell. That's for sure. Yeah, and it was super annoying because I was trying to watch this new Alien movie, which, oh man, I'm gonna be honest, guys, it's almost unwatchable. This one from 2024, I just bought it on Amazon for like $30. I was like, oh, you know what? I'm just gonna grab this. You know, I did the same thing with what's it called, the brand new Deadpool. I was like, I'm not gonna go watch it in theaters. It's not gonna come out for a while. I'll just pay for it. And what happened was I ended up I'm like almost 3/4 of the way through it. I was just like, I'm gonna go take a nap instead of finishing this fucking movie. It really wasn't great. So yeah, that movie was just okay, that's for sure. Mine is a Dell G15, so it's a gaming laptop. I want to say it's an i7. It's got a GeForce RTX in it, and then it's I'm still on 10. I refuse to go to 11. I haven't gone to 11 yet. And then, you know, I'm a simple guy. I'll use whatever for productivity, you know, and I just happen to have always run in the corporate space, you know, Windows in some way, and then as long as I get into my Linux systems, I don't really care. Yeah, one of these days it's going to push me forward, and then I'm going to probably go back and see how good the Linux desktop's gotten, because I keep hearing good things. People tell me that some of the desktops are pretty good. Killa, I have a Winco about 1.5 miles from my house. I love Winco. It's one of the only places I'll go. So my wife's out of town. She's coming back today in a few hours. She's been gone for 11 days with her friend Jen, hitting some of the states back east on this. She's hitting all 50 states type thing. And I would have went with her, except I was really cramming this training in and this and this. Well, anyways, yeah, Killa, that's one of the few places. So like, I've been sending my wife like texts like, you know, day 10 of the wife being gone. Me and Ranger have eaten the last of the dog food. Ranger's looking more and more like a puppy steak every time I look at him, right? So it's kind of funny. Anyways, Killa, so I did go in there the other day and get a bunch of water. So I got a bunch of extra water. And I got these little acai bowls. So we must know most items like that can be converted to an app via Electron. I know that I could just run LibreOffice, which is the old open office that Apache owns now. Yeah, Winco's great, man. Like, they've got a nice flow to it. You just walk in, walk around. You got all the fruit and stuff there if you want to eat healthy. And then you go around the back and there's all the meat. And then you go around the other side and there's like, if you need pastries or any of that kind of stuff. So like, yeah, Winco's pretty good. One of the cool things about Winco too is like, it's one of those stores that like the employees get stocks in as they keep working. So they keep it like super clean. They keep it super well stocked. It's a good, I like Winco a lot for like, I also like the business model. Like, they make a lot of people a lot of money if they stick with the business for a long time. And that's how a good business kind of should run. It's like, I wouldn't quite call it profit sharing, but it's definitely like a model where you get your salary, but you also can put that little bit extra in because you know you're going to get it back later, you know? And I think that's kind of a nice business model. I want to say Costco does that too, but I'm not 100% sure if Costco's like that. I'm 100% sure I know Winco's like that. Where it's like employee owners is what they call it. But yeah, so yeah. Oh jeez, I just knocked something off my desk. Hold on. I don't even know what's going on anymore, guys. I did just wake up a little while ago and hop in here and start streaming, so wanted to hang out with my 28 closest friends. Not friends, F-R-E-N-S. That's funny. Alright. So, employee owned. Yeah, there's a term for it, but yeah, I think employee owned is pretty close or right on to what it is. What did I do? I went over there. I got and they had sliced up cantaloupe too, and I love cantaloupe, so cantaloupe's probably up there with my favorite. I mean, it's a toss up between that and like honeydew for like my favorite melon. But fun fact, you guys might not know this, in Iraq they have a pretty booming kind of like melon. Wherever they can get water irrigated to, they can actually have quite a bit of melons. And so when I was in Iraq, and we'd be doing, we'd do a lot of road searches, you know, for like vehicles and stuff like that. We'd do like checkpoints basically. And when the farmers would come through bringing all kinds of honeydew and cantaloupes in, we'd give them like $5 and they'd just give us a whole bunch of them. Because like money, like dollars, American dollars were real big over there for them. So we'd get, you know, just a few of them, and then we'd just sit around and chop up cantaloupe and honeydew for a few days or whatever until we had our next whatever. I mean, we'd do those checkpoints like a few times a day at different parts of the road, but the ones in the morning, we always would catch the farmers coming in, and then they would just sell us some of their stuff. We'd probably buy more than, like, I'm sure, like whatever the town was going to pay for, but we didn't mind it because we figured we were getting a good deal because, you know, we didn't have fresh fruit like that, and they were getting a good deal because, you know, American dollars and all that good stuff. So yeah, just one of those things. All right, so I am over here. I'm gonna add a few more labs, so that's what I'm gonna be doing on my other screen here. Which one do I want to do? So I'm gonna say generating fix scripts for new images. So Stig, let's call that Stig fix scripts. So I'm gonna do that, and then I'm gonna say Stigs for, this will be Stigs for Stig fix for K3's environment. And then I've got a script in here. Bedless Blade, am I doing some Kubernetes? No, in this environment that I'm working in, I do have a K3's cluster. But we only did it really as like a proof of concept. We didn't go like super deep into it. And I'm building now some training, and what I'm doing is I'm putting together some extra lab stuff for them. So generating Stig fix for new images, Stig fix for K3's environment. I'm gonna say automatically pulling Radix. That's a tool. There's a tool called Radix reports from nodes. So I'm gonna show them how to do that with Ansible because I wrote that, so I might as well show them how to do it. Yeah. So this is where we're at here. Also, I have, let's see, do I have any other useful stream stuff up? Let me see. I do have Mechabellum one if we want to play Mechabellum, but nah, we'll just hang out here for now. We'll just hang out on this one. I'll let you guys vote later if we go play any games or anything. We'll check on Ranger Dog. Watch sunset. Sunset to the west and on the back side of my house. My house faces east. We determined that a few streams ago. People were wondering. So I'm gonna tell them to CD to root Stigs. All right, gotta restart our counting a few times. numbering at 1. Restart numbering again at 1. Using Google Docs is always fun. I think Google Docs is probably a little bit easier and more intuitive than Word is. So I don't know if you guys do any of that stuff, but like for productivity outside of, I do a fair amount for the college of PowerPoints and Word docs. I do a fair amount of PowerPoints with you guys too. But yeah, I'm been using a lot of Google Docs lately, and I really think I pick up a lot, or I think I get a lot more done in Google Docs. And I think for simple things that are, not based in like, tens of years of practice, because I've been using Word since I was a kid, right? I feel like Google Docs was a really fast pickup for me as far as a lot of the stuff that I can do with it. So, just thoughts. You need to do an Orange Pi Kubernetes cluster at some point for what's SMTH? Is that like a project thing or something? Also, I'm constantly asking you guys, like, what are you guys working on? Justin said Winco fried chicken a little bit salty. You know what I like from Winco that I probably should have done a few times while my wife was gone, was I like to go over there and just get their whole rotisserie chickens. I want to say they're like $6 still. They might be $7. Yeah. You can get those anytime you want. Oh, something. Okay. It's just removed all the vowels. Shortened down something. Okay. Do something. I get it. That's pretty good. No, one of the nice things about rotisserie chicken is you just chop the thing up real quick, and then you just have meat for a few days or whatever. You can put it in whatever you want. Have deployed some high performance computer vision. Nice bedless. I've done a fair amount with computer vision in my time as an amateur. I haven't done anything professionally with it. I really like. There's a tool that's really fun to play with. We used to use it in the lab here. For my home lab here was and some of you guys had picked it up. Oh, what was the name of that tool? We were just looking it up the other day. It was ZoneMinder, right? You guys played with ZoneMinder? It's a good tool. It's open source. It's free. You can do it as Docker images or whatever, and then you feed your data into it, and it'll go do a bunch of. It can like, you can just have your like this camera right here. It could tell when Ranger moved around that he's a dog. It could tell like if a person walked in frame. So if like I'm sleeping at night and I get a little alert that like somebody walked into this frame, a human, I'd be like, huh, that's weird, because no humans are downstairs, So anyway, ZoneMinder has some really cool stuff built into it, and then it's got a lot of like spin-offs, and you can just take in feed from different sources and stuff. So it's nice if you're not gonna pay thousands and thousands of dollars for a media system, but you just have some cameras. It's a nice thing that you can feed all your cameras into. Man, I don't know if that was a sneeze or what. That was a partial sneeze there, guys. So anyways, that's something to think about. Getting caught up with the unit since you got late. Yeah, Bob Data, are you getting enough? I think it's about, I tried to tune those out to be about 6 to 8 hours worth of work for people each week. So yeah, people that are behind have nearly 50 hours of work to catch up on. Nearly 50. Yeah, probably not quite 50, but over 30 anyways, right? Hours of work to catch up on if they're trying to do the Linux stuff. But I was thinking about it. I might take that course, do some drawings around it after we're done, and maybe release it as like a little LeanPub book in like a shortened form, and then it'll just be like a little project book for people that want to do it. You guys will have already done it for free in the Discord, but then maybe I'll take a lot of the materials and clean them up, and then go turn it over to like a LeanPub for anybody in the future that wants it. Now people will still be able to come in later and go read all that stuff out of the Discord if they want, but sometimes there's, for me, if somebody was like, go pull all that stuff together out of my Discord or spend $20, I guarantee you right now, 100% of every time, if I thought it was valuable, I'd spend the 20 bucks because I value my time way too much to go scraping a bunch of shit off of off of an old Discord. No, Bob Data. There's no other book. There's just the one. That main book, by the way, is like people don't need that to get into the course. That book is a standalone thing that's just about systems administration. Like that's just about getting into command line Linux. Yeah, but that book is a separate thing. We did that about a year ago now. I kind of put that together for everybody, and we kind of. It's actually funny. It wasn't doing, but like it probably had like 10 sales, and people were like just kind of hanging out, and like probably my friends all bought it. And then what happened was, yeah, somewhere around May when the channel kind of blew up on YouTube, it started having like hundreds and hundreds of sales, and it was like it kind of has gotten to like a lot of sales now, and I'm like, oh, that's kind of cool. I mean, because the goal again is to like get you guys as much free stuff as possible. I just in the one lab book, it was for people that kind of wanted to dig deeper and wanted to kind of like journal and think about the things that they were doing. So yeah, I made that one a little more involved, you know. So so apologize for coughing in everybody's ear, but I'm gonna keep working on this other doc while I'm talking to you guys. And let's see. Edit. Server. Let's see, for your own host group. See, VI root stig hosts, and then you're going to modify this for yourself to be add in lines like this. Yeah, and Zobair, yeah, the book's been doing pretty all right. I tell the wife, because like the way Lean Pub does it, they kind of like they have this little royalty page I can look at, and I just keep up on it every now and then. It's like, oh, that's kind of cool. Then they send it like royalties at the end of each month. It's I just put everything back into the Linux group anyways, getting us like speakers and stuff, getting us people to come talk and all that kind of stuff. Typically we have some kind of Christmas thing too, like we'll have a big like Christmas holiday time party where we get everybody together down kind of like our normal meetings. We'll just have an event down there where everybody can kind of hang out. And well, shoot, we'll have to figure out a way to do it this year, because if Discord doesn't let us, because we can't do it like a stage, that wouldn't be fair, because then only some people would be able to talk. And if we get over like 60 people, a normal channel just kind of bonkers out. So we'll figure it out. We'll figure out what we're gonna do. But we'll get a big group again together, and everybody can hang out. And we always do something nice for the people that have been active. You know, we always do something fun for them. So those end up being pretty good. Let's see. I'm gonna say just edit the host file for the servers group. Let's say copy the host file to your own host file, and just because there's going to be a bunch of them. I'm going to have a few admins doing this, so I can't have them doing all it in the same file, right? That wouldn't work. So I'm going to tell them to copy root stigs hosts to root stigs hosts your name. Yeah, that'll work. All right. TeamSpeak chat with as many people as you. Yeah. When I used to run TeamSpeak, because TeamSpeak used to let you run their stuff, but you could only have 8 people in there. Back in the early 2000s, you could run your own TeamSpeak server. Oh no, sorry, that was Ventrilo. Back in the day with Ventrilo, you could download and run Ventrilo on your own. Yeah, designs like this, servers, however many servers you want. All right, so all right. And then let's see. Look at the radix deploy.yaml to see if it makes sense. I'm gonna say look at the radix deploy.yaml, and that'll just be cat stigs. What are the high-level steps this is going to complete? We're going to insert some horizontal lines for these guys so they can write their answers. Oh, Killa, you said, how do that's actually one of my favorite things. Do you see this little world symbol right here? This little world symbol right, oh, let me click in here. Can you see my mouse right here in the top right of it? That is a thing called revolver tabs. You see how it says revolver tabs automatically rotate? Oh, hold on, that's not popping up for you guys. It's a hover item. It's called revolver tabs, and it pops up. It's a pretty good little Chrome extension, and I tell people sometimes this little thing probably runs in like more data centers and network operation centers than, I mean, probably than you could shake a stick at for sure, that I've set up over the years, where I just show people, hey, once we build out whatever monitoring we want to see, whatever heads-up solution we want a view of things, you know, do we want to watch like the cameras outside? Do we want to watch whatever things? Then we just put it up on like a 65-inch TV on the wall, and then we just put on a Chrome tab like this, put Chrome with a bunch of tabs, and then we put revolver tabs, dude. And it'll just sit there and it'll just revolve through all of the things up there. Yeah, so sorry I didn't see that until now, Killa, but yeah. You just put revolver tabs in Chrome, and you could just spin through a bunch of stuff like that. It's super easy to do, and it's it's production ready right out of the box. That thing, if I left that on, that would run probably all month without ever having any failures. And then I'll just click it and turn it off. Right, you'll just see it go red, and then when I turn it back on, it'll just flip through all the tabs I got open. And also with revolver tabs, look, I'll show you this. When you go to configure it, so I'll go pop into configure. You can make it go through the things. You can make it reload the page. So if it needs to refresh the page, you can do that. But you can also set it, look, I'm going to turn this off for a second. You can also set it to, these are the ones that are open right now. So these ones are just the ones that are in there. But you could have it start all of these things automatically when the page comes up. So like, I mean, I think you can do that with Chrome anyways. Chrome can have a bunch of auto-opening tabs. But then Revolver can be set to automatically revolve through a bunch of them, reload them, because sometimes you want to refresh a page and sometimes you don't want to refresh a page. You know, sometimes people build really, I've seen this a lot, people will build really good tools, but they'll just be like a static Python page or something. You know, Python just generates some HTML and you have to refresh that page. Well, this revolver tabs will do that for you. So one of the best cool little free things on the web that's super production ready if what you're trying to do is just monitor a bunch of crap. So Oh, go rotate. Well, see, that's what I need you guys for. Is you guys always tell me good stuff, so I'll need to update to go rotate one of these days. But people mostly make fun of me for never updating my crap, anyways. So most of the guys in our Discord are always making fun of me for leaving all my shit old. But it's a super useful tool, guys. Like if you're just, you want to watch some stuff. Like I tell you guys, I have 3 monitors sitting in front of me. I have a 4th one, but I don't use it. I have these 3 big monitors, and most of my productivity is on the one to the right that's real big, and then I have some productivity down on the bottom left. But the top left one is mostly just, it could just spin through stuff and can just show me different things and give me like a HUD, like a heads up display of what's going on that I want to track. So like I have it just showing you guys things that we've talked about the last few days while I'm doing other stuff. It's kind of just up there spinning through a bunch of different tabs, So anyway, something to think about. Let me get this format. Those over here. And then I'm going to say run this. So all right, sitting here and working on stuff like set up Grafana, go rotate at work, but we're suffering sunk cost fallacy into SolarWinds. Oh my god, SolarWinds. Don't even get me started on that. Do you guys remember when we learned? So we keep learning the lessons the same way over and over again. Have you guys all seen this before? The how many times do we have to teach you this lesson, old man? You guys all seen this before, right? How many times do we got to teach you this lesson, old man? That's what I feel like every time like something happens in the industry, and just, gosh, man, like, so SolarWinds was a big one a few years back, where SolarWinds just has like so much power inside of people's organizations. People have just given more and more, and they're like, oh, well, that's fine, that's just a tool that we use. But it's like, no, this tool that you've embedded in your systems has the ability to change things in servers. And when it got compromised, I want to say it was like in 2021 or so, it took a lot of systems offline, and it compromised a lot of people's infrastructure because they allowed SolarWinds to have so much power. And then it's like, okay, we clean that up, and then we have Log4j, and that one's kind of scary, but it's not that bad. Log4j would have been like early 2020, late 2021, right? And then we have the one, God, these ones are so stupid, but the ones with Falcon Strike, that's stupid. Like, we're letting people update shit in our environment whenever they want. It's absolute insanity. I can't, yeah, like, I think I told you guys, I was on a call the other day, and we were thinking of moving like 10 of our nodes that were in this environment over to stateful, so that, and we're like, wait, why do you want to run them stateful? And they're like, well, because we need to be able to have our Nessus agents update when they need to. And I'm just like, and I told these guys on the call, I said, look, I don't want to be overset. It was my chief technology officer on our side, and then it was like some high level people from Dell on the other side. And I was like, guys, like, I don't want to overstep, my position, but I am going to tell you, we literally just learned this. Like, at that point, it was like 3 weeks ago. I was like 3 weeks ago, we just learned that people should not be updating shit in our environments, carte blanche, just fucking doing whatever they want, right? Like, that's not how it works. Yeah. So that's not how it should work, right? Like as engineers, we should control our environment with like an iron fist. And I know that sounds like, oh, Scott, you're a control freak. Yeah, I'm an uptime, freak. Like everything I focus on is keeping my system stable. And if you can change a Jenga block in the Jenga tower that I'm building, then you control my stability and I don't want to play anymore. Because why would I play if you're the one? There's an old saying, there's the cheap, fast, and good. If you guys have ever heard this before, so you say I can do cheap, fast, and good. Now pick two. So you get to pick two, but I control the last one. And I feel like that's the same thing with security. Like if you want me to make the thing secure and stable and have good uptime, but you're going to control some aspect of it, I don't have that anymore. So, anyways, I don't know. I guess it's not an exact one-to-one mapping, but anyway. So, hold on. I'm looking at this and I'm saying what reports are there. Clean them up and then run this against your. So I want to run this playbook real quick. So Ansible cat hosts Ansible dash playbook dash I root stigs hosts, and then it'll be their name, and then all right, run a report against your host group and within against the servers host group in your host file. And that'll be what's Ranger doing? Is Ranger moving around? Ranger's on the move. Ranger, the boss is walking. Insert one of these and one of these, and then about how long did this take to run? We'll check that out as well. All right. Sounds like Ranger's sneezing down there too. The dog's doing something. All right. Fisherman's here. How's it going, Fisherman? I see you're pulling up your shirt and showing us your belly button. I hope that is. Oh man. All right. Yeah, we're not working too hard. We're just kind of hanging out and talking about different stuff. And I'm building some training. I'm using you guys to pass the time until the wife shows up. She's flying home from Maine right now. And actually, I think she's flying back out of Boston is where they were flying from. But she hit like 6 states up there with her friend Jen the last 11 days. They just went into each state, did different things, kind of saw things, ate, did food tours, did a bunch of museums and stuff, sent me pictures the whole time. And yeah, it's been pretty good. I see Rangers hanging out downstairs, so that's good. Fisherman, you ever get your network stuff all fixed up? I know you were streaming earlier and then your network was giving you issues. I wasn't sure if that ever got itself all cleaned up. Alright. View reports. Down in ever had issues outside of Twitch, so I'm not sure what it was. Interesting, yeah. You don't have any kind of, well, I don't think you would have had like a VPN. that did any kind of like dual hone stuff. That shouldn't have caused that. That was just weird. I had to restart the stream a few times. And YouTube side was still running. Yeah, it's interesting. Yeah, Cox Internet's here bringing fiber up to people's homes all week in our neighborhood. So I might see them outside digging up my front yard. I saw some places where they put the stakes in. The stakes don't mean that they have to dig in my yard. They just mean that they've marked all the utilities in the neighborhood, you know. But, you know, if they do tear up my yard, as long as they put it back, I really don't care. You know, plus they have easement in my part of the city. We have easement, so we have to allow them to come in to the yard anyways. So in the front yard, that's not a big deal. So I'm saying view the reports in the reports directory. What? So they're going to cd sticks reports. They can just look in the directory and then need more than just the checklist data. The nodes you ran on will have the edX information in the normal directory path. At least until. Oh, look at Ranger. Ranger's like trying to go for maximum cuteness down there. Look at him. That dog. He is trust me, he is super comfortable down there, guys. Don't let his sad eyes fool you any. Although I do gotta go give him dinner. I don't think I've given him dinner today. So he needs to eat. Alright. To view all the settings. That's weird. We're gonna say cat Etsy rancher. Some horizontal lines. Fiber to the house. Yeah, Fishman, I'm going to have fiber from Cox, but I think I already have fiber from CenturyLink to the house. Although with CenturyLink, I don't think I'm paying for the fiber stuff because my secondary line that comes into my house, I only pay $50 a month for that, so that's a pretty cheap line. But that also is just for my guests. I think I've told you guys this before. I always have two lines coming into my house because I'm an engineer and I hate being offline. Well, I hate being offline as a nerd, but I also definitely hate being offline as like an engineer who gets paid for being online doing stuff, you know. So I try not to be offline. But my secondary line is I think like $50, and then my primary line is a little bit faster, and that's the one that you guys come in on the labs and stuff like that. And that one I think is like around $90. But the nice thing is I get a stipend from work and I get a stipend from the college, so I think I only pay about $30 a month for what's it called, any kind of internet. I think I'm only paying about $30, so that's pretty good. Oh, what's Ranger doing? Ranger's wandering around. Look at that dog. He's probably he's old and confused, I think. I'll keep an eye on him. Hope he doesn't fall down. He just moves slow now, too. Big old slow Ranger. Walking in a circle before he finding a nice soft spot on his big old comfy bed. Where's my teeth? You went back to your Linux machine? Nice. Alright. We'll leave that running over in that window so you guys can keep an eye on that. I am grabbing a bunch of docs and just putting information that I have down into a training. Just putting more training stuff together. Dear Singh over on YouTube. Hi Scott, are you planning to provide mentorship or one-on-one career advice sessions? I wonder if you're messing with me, Singh. No, I'm not going to do that. Only because look, I'll apologize in advance to anybody that wants that. I don't have time, man. I work and I teach, and then I do some side projects. I try to run the professional Linux users group. I've been doing the Linux systems administrator course to try to reach as many people as I can, but I just don't have a lot of time to help anything one-on-one, and I wouldn't want to charge people for it, because I think I've said on stream before what I value my time at, and I don't think that's fair to people to charge like a junior in the engineering field for my time, what I think my time is worth, if that makes sense. I have no problem charging a business for what I'm worth, but I don't want to charge a junior engineer. I want people to feel like they can just kick it with us, you know? So I'll make the same deal to anybody that wants to, hang out and ask me questions. If I'm down in the Discord somewhere and you guys find me, or I'm doing whatever, as long as it's somewhere where anybody can kind of hang out, we can we can talk and do whatever. I'll help you all I can, but I can't really do one-on-one stuff. I don't have time for it. So, and you might say, Scott, you're wasting your time right now. Oh, I know I'm messing around right now, but I'm also burning my time waiting for the wife to get here. So, but I do try to put out enough stuff that you guys can work with the other engineers and figure out, enough stuff to kind of keep you moving forward. Yeah. So that's kind of my canned answer there, saying I would like to have time for everybody, but I only have 168 hours in a week, and I sell about 80 of them already now to different companies and employers of different types. So I stay pretty busy most of the time. So, all right. So I need to. I've got one more lab in the normal labs, and then I might build this one out. Let me go see where. Go look at some of our containers. How are we building some of this? So, oh yeah, I gotta go. All right, yeah, I gotta build a new lab that's gonna do all of the image build stuff. So that's gonna be a lot. And then node removal and re-import. I want to show how to do that too. Okay, every time I turn around, I have more stuff to put into this training dock and make it bigger. So lots of work, guys. Lots of work. Oh, what's Fishman telling me? Yeah, Fishman, I know. It's because I'm using Word or Windows. I know. I was so mad when that happened earlier. I was so freaking mad. I almost threw this laptop out the window. Then I thought, no. Then the wife will come home and she'll be like, "What happened to the window? What happened to the laptop?" And I'll be like, and then I got to answer to the wife. I don't want to do that, so I would tell her burglar, but she's watched enough crime shows with me. She'd go, "This glass is all on the outside. It was broken from the inside out," and I'd go, I'd like visibly gasp, and then give her the surprise Pikachu face, and then it would be like one of those GIF memes where I just go down under somebody punching me, and and then I tell you guys that I got all my bruises in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. And this is my cry for help. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. That's not. The burglar was inside the house. Yeah. Does anybody remember that old commercial, the Doobie Doo? And it's like the Bud Ice penguin was inside people's houses. The calls are coming from inside your house. Yeah. The old Bud Ice penguin. All right. So let's see. I'm knocking out labs, guys. I'm just more and more labs showing up, and the training's getting longer. I'm up to 32 pages now. I got that going for me. The table of contents is going to be bigger than the table of contents is almost longer than a page now, so that's going to be fun. When I get that so long that it's just. I need to add some of these. Yes, every time I go through this, I find more stuff that I left like half completed. So I gotta add some stuff. I'm gonna say which. And if you guys have any questions about anything going up on the stream, let me know. Damn, those lucky army people getting 400 slides of training. Yeah, Enzo Bear. I was just before the PowerPoint generations. Like I've heard all the bad things about having to sit through a bunch of slides of training, and I'm like, I don't think most infantry guys back when I was in like 99 to 2003 knew how to. Even our commanders didn't know how to use too much PowerPoint back then, so we didn't get a lot of slide training. So let me. So verify you have the essay log. This is a log. Oh, the essay. Write an essay. Then we wrote 4 of our essays. Anybody remember that South Park episode where the kids hired the guys to do their work, and they wrote their essays for them on The Old Man and the Sea? That one's funny. I was looking at some government jobs near Austin, and I'm permanent resident, so I can't apply. Citizens only. Yeah, that happens, Enzo Bear. Do you have a do you have like a timeline? Are you gonna be a citizen eventually? I know that's a big deal for people when they go pass their test and do that process. That's a big deal for a lot of people. That's a good one. I think a lot of people that go through that process really appreciate it a lot. Like they're like, oh yeah, like probably even more than people who haven't gone through and seen, all that stuff. I mean, I think you learn a lot of that stuff in school, but you definitely have to learn a lot of that for a citizen's, like a naturalization thing. Yeah, it takes a long time. Yeah. Oh yeah, you got to recover. I get it, man. I've been there. Ozempic episode. Fisherman, I need to catch up on all the old South Park. I don't think they're on Hulu anymore. I rewatched them all on Hulu. Oh wow, 18K on a permanent visa. Yeah. Yeah, I can see that. Well, I'll make you a deal. I will not charge. Oh, hold on. Where'd my thing's not going anymore. Hold on. I'll make you a deal. I'll always keep everything in Prolog free in the Discord, so we'll never charge you nothing. You don't have to pay nothing to kick it. How's that? That's always going to be our thing. I think we're not going to pay to make friends. You guys can just hang out with us. That's the goal. They're on Max. Do I gotta pay? I think I gotta pay more for that, don't I? You guys gotta understand. Like I can't get at. Like I grew up like I don't know. Nobody wants to hear my sob story, but like I grew up pretty low income, man. I have 4 brothers. There's 5 boys. We were an Irish family. Me and my older brother are called Irish twins, if you guys know what that means. Like we were a lower income family for sure, and I can't, like, I have such a hard time getting out of that thought process. Like, I will go waste $15 on lunch or dinner, but I just wasted $30 on that stupid movie on Prime, that Alien movie I just watched. It was terrible. I didn't even finish it yet. But anyways, but then like something that's like $4 more a month, I'll be like, I ain't doing that. It's so weird. Like I can't get out of that. Me and my buddies call it like the poor's mindset. Like I can't get out of that mindset, man. Like that's how I grew up, man. Like I grew up, I didn't have a lot of money, and then I grew up around my friends that had their families had like more middle class money, and I was just always broke, man. So yeah. So anyways, so where I'm going with that is like I hate when I have to tack like $6 more on a freaking subscription. Even though I know it's just a rounding error at the end of the month. It's not even a rounding error on like what me and my wife make, so but you never get. I joke around with my other engineer buddies. I'm like, when do you get out of that mindset? When do you make enough money where like you don't really care about that anymore? And they're like, I don't think you ever get out of that mindset. You only do it 1 month for a show? Okay. Yeah. I remember when I did Hulu for a while. So I do Hulu, and then I do Netflix, and I do Crunchyroll, because I love anime. If you guys didn't know that, love anime. Yeah. I don't think there's any way. I never had cable grow. Cable. I'm talking about cable. Cable. I didn't have no cable growing up. Yeah, I get it. Hold on, I'm doing a couple of fixed things here. I say log. Oh, I need to show where this config is at. So give me a second here. Alright, so cluster.conf is a file that they can use in their cluster to see a bunch of stuff about the cluster, and note some of the things you're going to want to change for your environment if you choose to use this. Alright, insert some lines. Alright, See what I'm missing over here in chat. Big anime fan here. Have you seen Parent? No, I haven't seen the Journey's End one. No. Most recent ones I've watched are I got like halfway through the second season of Tower of God, and then I just couldn't. It was too cheesy. I couldn't keep doing it. But I really liked Solo Leveling. I really liked. I didn't like Jujutsu Kaisen nearly as much as everybody else did. Like everybody I know loved that show, and I tried to watch it, and I'm like, I didn't get into it as much as everybody else. Like I think I made it to the second season of that too, and I watched the movie. So yeah, in the 80s, in the 80s, you would watch on like Saturday afternoon, because it wasn't in the Saturday morning lineup typically. It was typically more of a Saturday afternoon. We would get whatever was on TV, and we would get the Dragon Ball Z. And I think it was actually just Dragon Ball back then. But man, those episodes, if you missed one, you didn't know what happened, but you would see all the replays of stuff forever, because it was like, you know, in a 30-minute show, you get about 23 minutes a show, because we used to have commercials. Was it TGIF? It might have been. I just remember, you know, when I was a kid that, yeah, because I watched a lot of that stuff growing up too. But mostly Saturday morning were our cartoons, and then Sunday afternoon you'd have like cheesy old movies on stuff. Cheesy old movies were only like 10 years old, but you know, in the 90s and stuff, it was still like mostly like Commando and Hard to Kill, like older Arnold movies. So yeah. The memes don't do it justice, but like the people who talk about like the smell of a blockbuster and like going and people not understanding like the excitement of going into a blockbuster on Friday with your parents, like that was like a whole like culture, man. And my family didn't have a lot of money, but we would at least try to rent a movie or a game, and then we ate out once a week. It was on Sunday night. My dad would do pizza. We got pizza from Little Caesars. It was like Little Caesars pizza for like $15.99 or something. It was two topping large, and they were like 15 or something, $16 each or something like that. Yeah, so it was good. Might feel a bit slow, but it was worth watching. Yeah. People don't realize like you had to race back from the TV. You would go to the bathroom on a break, and then you would race back to the and have to be back. And again, I had 4 brothers, so like you're sometimes running to a further bathroom in the house. You know, not that there were that many bathrooms, but you would run to a further one to be able to go. Yeah, and then you have to be back before the end of commercials. Yep. I remember all that stuff. All right. I need to keep adding in. I got more labs to add in. With the funniest home videos. Remember the jackalope? Who here remembers the jackalope? Man, that little guy, fast as can be, you'll never catch me. Little jackalope running around. He's like, they had like little antlers mounted on the front of a camera, and they would just run this stupid little thing around, and it was just funny. So, how many times do we have to teach you this lesson, old man? The industry needs to learn the lessons often and over again. There's an old saying about lessons learned through pain fade as the pain fades. I don't know who said that, but that's an old saying that I've heard. And it's true, man. Like the industry learns a lesson, and then new people come in that don't remember that lesson, and we have to learn it all over again. And some of us older people are just standing there like with our hand permanently stuck to our palm from face palming over the kind of stuff. Did Yoda say that? That doesn't sound like something Yoda would have said, but seems like something he would have had a thought around. But yeah, I had heard that before, where like lessons learned through pain fade when the pain fades. And I think that's an interesting thing. I do really like the saying, experience is the hardest teacher. It gives the test first and the lesson after. Because I think that's really very apropos to getting into systems work. Like, learn from my mistakes, learn from the other guys' mistakes in the Discord that are telling you about poorly designed things that they've seen and done, and you know, and then you can learn from that, and you can not make those same mistakes in your career, hopefully, you know. All right, so I'm in this other window. I'm grabbing stuff. I am grabbing information. Let's see, do I have anything else? I guess I could say if you need to edit this thing. I'm checking out the Discord. That shit's funny. Yeah, we have pretty good time down Discord. We have over 3,000 people down there, so that's kind of cool. We probably have about 500 on at any given time, so that's pretty good. You get a fair amount of people down studying together, and you get a fair amount of people just kind of working on stuff throughout the day. So there's good tech stuff down there. I'm kind of a fan. You guys probably notice I hang out down there most of the day, even when I'm working on other stuff. So. Yeah, you can ask me whatever you want. Where's my teeth? Around being a professor? Sure. I am okay with answering that. If you're going to ask me how many students have I failed, none. They all failed themselves. But other than that answer, many. I'm just kidding. Well, I mean, that's true, but no, I've never failed anybody. Also, like, do you give out good grades? Nope, never given out a grade in my life. You earned whatever you got with me. Every time. And to this day, I'll tell you something fun. I'll tell you guys some fun stuff. Like, people think I'm a monster in the classroom, but there's a fair amount of people in our Discord that have been students of mine, by the way. Like, actual students in college, but I'd say there's probably close to about 50 of them down there that know me from being a student of mine over the years. But I will tell you that there's two things about me. I've never once given extra credit. Never, not once. And then, Heather, we're just hanging out. We're not working too hard. If you guys have questions about stuff, you can ask, you know, or we're just I'm like co-working in a different window with stuff I can't show you. But the other thing too, so I've never given extra credit in all my years of teaching. I don't believe in it. I think it's silliness. And then two is I've never given a quiz where you couldn't get 100% on the quiz if you wanted to. What do I mean by that? Like, I've never given a pop quiz. Well, never given a pop quiz in general. Like, I always put my quizzes up front in my syllabus. But if you're in one of my classes and you get a 30% on the quiz because you were just being a shitbag and you didn't study all week, I will let you get 100% on that quiz. But you have to write why each of the answers is right as a paragraph. So you might go, well, okay, so like my answer here was wrong. I don't care why the answer was wrong. The wrong thing is irrelevant. Literally everything but the right thing exists and is wrong. We don't care about that. I want to know why the right answer is right. And I have given that deal to students, and it's funny because like at the end they'll be like, you know, it's really nice that you let us have all your quiz, you know, all the quiz points. 30% of my grade came from quizzes, and you let me get 100% in there. Yep. But I also like tricked you into learning something too. So, anyways, what's your question? Where are my teeth? What's your question? I don't think that was what you were going to ask me. So, ask away, and I'll look over in a second after I get done with this next part because I'm still formatting labs over here and building more labs. So, my next one's going to be generating Stig scripts. This is something I want to show you guys in a lab one of these days too. So I'll probably let me go jump over here. Let's make a directory called, I don't know, Stigs. That's either a really long question or you forgot about me. Where are my teeth? Because you said you were. Oh, there it is. Okay. I have a professor that gives us quizzes, but the problem is some of the answers to the questions are wrong on their side. So I've caught 2 questions in the last quiz that were wrong. My professor won't fix my grade, even though I proved the answer was the correct answer I submitted. That's a tough one, because there's two types of there tends to be two types of things that professors are trying to teach you or do teach. So let me back up for a second. When I'm teaching technical things, there is a discrete right and wrong answer. And what I mean by that is, let's say we're talking about how to configure a Cisco device, and you're telling me that from a router greater than sign, which is a user exec mode, that you can do a do show run or a show run. And I'm like, well, you can't do that. And you're like, but the command is show run. And I'm like, no, objectively, like that will never work because you have to be in a privileged mode. So you have to be in router pound sign, right, which denotes that you're in privileged exec mode. So let's say that was the thing. That is objectively true or false, right? But then there's other things that college professors give you which are more open-ended, where it's like, the law of supply and demand states this. So if you took all the cotton out of a industry, what other industries would be affected? All the cotton out of a country, what other industries would be affected? Well, so an economics professor might be looking for a very specific type of thing, and you may focus on something else, and then I see like where you could kind of argue a little bit there. But anyways, I guess I would say, like, are you proving the answer was correct on something that's objectively right or something that's like subjective? Because I have a friend who, I remember when he was doing his master's in computer information systems. He's a programmer for Meta, still to this day. This guy's real sharp, and he's over there. And I remember he was telling us, he's like, yeah, I had this college professor for math, and he said she asked what kind of statistical project were we going to do, and I started talking about, like, I'm going to do a football project. And she goes, football sports are the bane of existence, and they're so bad for kids, and this and this and this. And I'm sitting there like, what the hell does that have to do? Like, he's telling me the story, and I'm sitting there going, what the hell does that have to do with math? So anyways, he ended up doing like a pool thing, like playing pool and stuff, and doing all the angles and stuff. And he programmed this whole project up on that you could wear the glasses, and it would tell you how to do your pool shots and stuff. But anyways, so, yeah, where's my teeth? Sometimes you just got to eat it. I mean, you got to eat the points, or there's not a lot you can do besides try to persuade the professor. Because I know, like, even in my 16 years of teaching, I've had like twice where admins have asked me to change grades for students. Like, they've like, hey, this grade, this and this and this. And I'm like, well, they can turn it in again. But like, I've never in all my years of teaching across 2 different colleges had anybody force me to change my grade, if that makes sense. Like, and I wouldn't take that either. I'd be like, well, I guess I'm done teaching here. So that's never happened, but I've also never been asked for that. Does that make sense? Where I'm going with that is, you really only have the power of persuasion with that teacher. And one of my best pieces of advice is, as a college professor, my favorite thing to hear from a student is myself coming back out of, like, hearing my own words coming back from them. So that's a little trick. Like, that's a trick I learned early on. Like, I will just speak to my college professors the way that they talk to me, and then they're always like, oh yeah, this guy sounds professional. I'm like, I just sound like you. True or false question. So example, Python, our sets start with braces, whatever, true or false, and the answer is true, even though in cases you can have a set that will work well, the primary answer is braces. So yeah, where are my teeth? I would say in that case, those are discrete yes or no things, and you should be able to put that right into a Python interpreter and run it and prove that you are right or not. And then, they should be able to objectively say, well, no, that is right, and then they should be able to fix that. If a teacher can't do that, I mean, they probably forgot where they came from, so that would be unfortunate. But do I have any good resources for learning the types of storage configurations? Fire hazard, I've only ever started doing that. I've never like finished all like the RAID stuff and writing up all that stuff for everybody. There's a lot of different configs. I actually read one. I've been using this one that's 16. What is it? It's 16 plus 2 plus 2. I've never even seen that config before. It's a RAID 6. 16 plus 2 plus 2. I had never seen it before. So yeah, it's 16 plus 2 plus 2. Yeah. Anyways, my point is I don't even know. All the types of configs nowadays. I don't keep up on storage as much as I used to. And then one of the projects they're going to drop me in on this 8 week, like, it's funny. It's like they dropped me in like that guy. What was that guy's name? Like Bear Grylls or something. That I never watched this show, but I think they like dropped him in the middle of somewhere, and then he had to survive. That's what they're gonna do for like 8 weeks on this project. And we were getting some data around it earlier, and one of the guys goes, he goes, oh yeah, the project you're gonna be dropped in on, they only have one admin on this 2 high performance compute clusters, and I'm like, they only have one dude. I've been in that role before. I've been in a role where I was the only guy, and the buck stopped with me on our high performance compute. But this guy, I feel like I'm gonna get dropped in, and he's gonna be like a wild man. Like the system's barely working, and he's just gonna be running around. I'm gonna be trying to calm him down, and be like a sounding board and help him out with some stuff. But they use Luster in this job, and they're like, we need somebody with some Luster experience. And I'm like, well, I've been using Luster since 2008, so I have some experience in there. I've been, following the project forever. So, sending me emails professionally, but that won't change the quiz, though I don't press back. Yeah, wear my teeth. It depends. I mean, like, if that's going to only cost you a few points, sometimes you do got to suck it up. I do change grades for students if they ask me stuff and it's reasonable. But I can't speak for all professors, so. All right, guys, we're coming up on an hour and a half, man. I've been on a while. Like I said, I'm just using you guys to burn time until the wife gets home. So I'm gonna take a break real quick. I'm gonna walk around. You guys, what are we gonna do here? We'll do this for a second. Boom. Do all the Linux, guys. That's what we do around here, right? So, I'll hop back on. I'll be back in about 8 minutes. I like to walk around the upstairs a little bit. I'll go give Ranger some food and stuff. If you guys have any questions, let me know, and I will try to answer them as best I can. Although, yeah, I haven't been keeping up on storage nearly as much. So, yeah, fire hazard. A lot of times, like, especially if you spend some money, you get way more than you need for home lab stuff. So that's always fun. But then you find stuff to use it for, and then you don't have enough again. That happens to me all the time. So, all right, I'll be back. I'm wandering around for a minute. Stretch my legs a little. All right. Yeah, Bob Data, thanks for coming by. Hopefully this stuff's useful to you. Want a mini data center at home? Ooh, 50 to 75 terabytes of data, nice. Plan on doing a ton of self-hosting and high reliability. Nice, nice, nice. Yeah, some of that stuff you do got to spend a little bit for to practice on and build. I'm going to be doing a lab soon on Coworking. And if you guys have never played with Coworking, I'll do some labs on Coworking, and this is a cluster tool, and then also another one is it's heartbeat. So source. I wonder, is it not heartbeats? I don't know if it's this one up here. I don't know which one it is. I'm gonna have to go find out which one it is. But Coworking, and let me look over here on this one. I got a machine over here. I can check it. Yeah, it should just be heartbeat. Ah, pacemaker. That's what they call it. Yeah, pacemaker. Yeah, if you guys haven't played with pacemaker, yeah. So it's Coworking and pacemaker, and between the two of these, you can build some pretty kind of powerful VIP solutions, which is a virtual IP solution. So what you'll have is, in an environment, you'll have a node that is like 192.168.11.65 and 66. So those will be your two nodes. But they'll share a virtual IP that's like the .69 or something, right? And then that .69 will be owned by the one that is the primary. So 66 will have that .69 as a interface that it listens to. And then if it ever goes down for any reason, the other node grabs that virtual IP and it starts listening on 69. There's a couple labs I did on Killer Code that I'm excited to deploy once I get some other things. I have Turing Pi, nice. 7 RPi compute module 3s, plus my servers to run clusters on. That's awesome. Yeah, that's a good home lab. So, did you write the labs for Killer Coda? Let me know when you deploy them. I'll go through them. I like Killer Coda. I think it's a good place to give you guys access to environments that you guys can play with. So, generating stings. Let's see if I can do this. Where is my other thing here? And let's say that you have interesting. There we go. Okay. So I'm going to point out that we never installed this tool. Most of the Linux labs you posted, though, try to create some once I learn how to help contribute back. Yeah, Fire Hazard, you're welcome to try doing them. You're welcome to. I mean, it's a pretty. I think it's a pretty fun process to build those little labs out and then see people do them. Can I show you guys something cool if you've never seen? I've told you guys before. I don't get anything out of Killer Coda, like I don't get paid by them. I don't get anything from them. But this is the one kind of cool thing that I get. This is a cool thing. I think some of you guys might like this. If you go in your creator profiles, right, and then you've got all the Het Tanis labs, and then I have some Prolog testing ones that I'm probably going to use when we get near the end of this Linux system administration. And these ones will be, you know, these will be, they're not, it's not that they're invite only, anybody can do them, but you can have it set where they're not like exposed, people can't find them. So I'll just send these to you guys. Anyways, how's it going, Robedom? Let me show you guys something real quick. This is fun. If you come into your labs, right, so I come into my labs here, and I can go to activity. And then this is the one thing I get out of all this, is I get to see all the cool active scenarios. So people have been using some of our different Ansible labs. Here's the last 24 hours, here's the last 7 days. And then here's the last 30 days. So this is kind of what, and in the past 6 months, this is kind of what it looks like, how many people have been doing. There's been about 3,000 starts. Now it removes me, so it doesn't count if I'm going into any of them. But it's just kind of a cool little thing, and I can see what's like the most popular one. Install Ansible. Most people have at least installed Ansible. There've been about 500 starts of that one. That's pretty good for each month. Maybe about 355 this month, but yeah, we were getting up almost to 500. So system checking got the most in the Linux. That was the one where we had the blow up on YouTube of all the Linux users coming in, right? So yeah, Robodom, I'm doing good. I think everybody else is probably doing good too. But yeah, this is one of my favorite little things to kind of come in and check. How's the last 30 days gone? People have been using the labs, right? People have been doing Ansible stuff, and people do the HashiCorp stuff, and it's, you know, it's a fun little thing to view. So I'll leave that in our little rotation of stuff for, you know, what's been going on basically. Leave that because people like graphs, right? Graphs are always fun. Ranger's licking the ground. I just gave him food. What's he doing? Ranger, we're not pores. There's plenty of dog food. And Julie's coming back in a couple of hours. I don't normally say my wife's name on stream. I normally just say the wife. But yeah, the wife's coming home. So Ranger should chill. Alright. So I'm over here on my other screen. And so we'll say SSH to a compute node. And so do this. Grab this. It's awesome. Sometimes I end up restarting those labs and just click execute through to see if I can history and put the commands into my notes with comments. That's helped a ton. Yeah, Fire Hazard. That's actually one of the things I tell people do is just pull the stuff out and put it in your notes. Fire Hazard, have you done the Socratic Ansible? Can I show you that for people that want that? So the way Socratic Ansible works is this. Let me pull this up real quick. And oh my God, you guys in Discord, hold on. All right, so here's Discord real quick. And you go to our Prolog projects, presentations. And then we've got you should go up just a little bit, not too far. And here's the Socratic method for Linux. So it asks you a bunch of questions, but here's our notes on it. And you can download the notes, and the notes are just like asking yourself questions. You can use these are the answers, or you can just say, do I know what version of Ansible oh, that's the Ansible one. The Linux one's here. Do I know how many CPUs we have? Can I tell what's the speed in megahertz? And there's literally like, I think 170 questions. Can you ping, not pint, can you ping the default gateway 3 times? Can you determine the maximum transmission unit of a network with ping? Can you determine your default route? Can you determine the interface that's physically connected? You guys can all see that, right? Yeah. Okay. So anyways, so that's one of the things that I think is really useful. And we went through these together. We wrote a bunch of these up, and people gave different answers and different things. But You know, can you free all of the cached memory? And then you go look up what this command does, and then you know a little bit more about the system than you did before. So there's just a lot of stuff here. Literally, you know, like 100+ questions, and I keep adding to it of just information that might be useful to you guys as engineers. So, all right, let me get rid of that, and then I'll go back over here. All right, that's a fun one. You know, that's a fun one that'll show you a lot of commands, because I learned a lot of commands doing that. As people were like shouting, you know, we were on here and we were doing it on stream, and everybody was like shouting their own little commands that they use, and I got a lot of good information out of it too. So I saw a lot of different ways to do some of the same type of stuff. All right. I'm going to make sure that we have this, and then I need to make sure that we have this file. Oops. Oh, that file's not there. So then I got to figure out if I want to put it there. All right. It's awesome. I need to go grab those and run through them. I've been following your YouTubes in the background to absorb it and phone passing. Nice. Yeah, Fisherman or Fire Hazard. That's a good plan. Either the YouTube stuff, or, you know, I tell people all the time, find something that's interesting, even if it's not our stuff, other stuff out there. But I try to think that my stuff is pretty okay for Linux, at least. Let me go find. I think I have to run this out of my home directory, so I got to do this thing. Yeah. Let's see this. Let me go put this in my thing as for more information. Go here. All right. So go to a compute node. Verify that you have the tool, which is OpenSCAP. We're going to say which OSCAP, which is OpenSCAP. Have that. Potential names. Right. Oh, there's Ranger down there licking his rug. My dog. My dog would have everybody believe he's got it really, and now he's licking his bed. Come on, Ranger. Come on, Ranger. Oh man, now he's licking himself. All right, we're switching. We won't watch Ranger clean himself. We'll go do something else. We'll just look away in abject horror, right? Not that kind of channel. Yeah, yeah, yeah. All right. So we'll check that stuff out, and then because let's say I'm gonna say because this file isn't everywhere, we'll just run it out of my home directory. So because the file isn't pushed everywhere, we'll just run it from my home directory. So let's put that, and then I'll say generate what's the hell's the name of this file? Our shell script. But now we gotta go find the path. Home, Champagne, Stigs. .xml file. Is it pushed anywhere? Okay. Khalil, you said, hello, bro. I've been self-taught admin for many years. I watched one of your live streams once and learned so many things. Thanks, man. Yeah. Khalil, I've learned so much over the years by sitting with other admins and engineers that I know. And just like, I really think when like engineers and admins get together and kind of like share information and share tricks and kind of pair program, if you will, like you'll pick up a lot of stuff from each other. So yeah, I mean, you know, I do this stuff, but I look forward to learning from some of you guys too. You know, I pick stuff up every time. So that's the goal. Get better and learn how to make this into a profession for some people, because not everybody's working in the space yet, and we want to get people working in the space that aren't doing that yet. So I'm going to come over here and I'm going to hit Control C and then right click and why wouldn't they be able to read that? Alright. CR19-DS. Enable open that file. Stigs. ssg-r19-ds-xml. Yeah? That should be .xml, but yeah, okay, alright. So I want this. Why can't I read that file? I shouldn't. So why wouldn't I be able to read that file from a script? That's definitely a real file. Was I spelling that wrong? That's super weird. I'm missing a step here. Yeah, sorry guys, I'm like real down in the weeds on a doc real quick that I'm reading. And I'm trying to get this to do what I want. Do I need to throw that in temp? Temp. That makes sense. All right. I have to pull this. I might have to pull this lab out. Well, no, maybe I can find it. Hold on. So Yeah, Robodom's telling you guys about the labs, so it's always good. You guys always can go play in the labs if you want to. I am trying to find this thing that I've been using, and apparently I didn't know how I didn't know how it was doing all the stuff I thought it needed to do. So now I need to go find how it was working. Alright, it's not there and it's not there. Just wonder how I was doing this then. CD to user local. Confusing myself, guys. So that's not hard to do, but let's see where my buddy put most of this stuff. So user share XML. Nothing in there. On the scans. And go get the stuff for the fixes. That down, pull that. I can do all that stuff. I can do all that crap. I gotta push this thing over real quick. So where do I have that at? Find CC anything. So, oh, I got a STIG file in there. All right, well, maybe that's what it is. So, over here. That's funny. So I'm running into this issue where we don't have our stuff synced between these two different home directories. That's kind of funny. So I gotta go find. That's a hassle. So let me go out of here. CD to home. That should be fine. Thanks for the follow. Hopefully this stuff's useful to you. Oh, I should probably put the alerts in front so you guys can see Ranger on the Twitch alerts. Put him in front of everything. So now if anybody follows, he'll be in front. Alright, anyways, let me go grab this real quick. RPM that I tried to do. RPM IVH to install. Alright. And let's see if my little scanner will run now. My little thing will run. Maybe. Definitely missing part of this that I don't remember how we generated. All that stuff. I see what the problem is now. So if we do it from over here, it's got access out to the web, so it can do the fixes automatically. So so it's kind of a little bit of a hassle. Maybe I'll pull this lab out for now. You guys know we're not working too hard around here, so I'm gonna copy this. Oops. I'm gonna steal this from one of my associates and put it in my home directory. To there. Yep. Right. Go back into here now. My node, and then let's say to use, instead of temp, use home champagne steaks. Okay, hold on. Oh man. What's topic tonight? Clustering, pacemaker. We're just kind of hanging out tonight, Christian. My wife's getting home in about an hour and a half from being out of town. So yeah, we're just kind of hanging out and not working on anything too hard. I'm actually working in a different screen and just kind of like doing a little bit of co-working stuff. So, I mean, I'm not working too hard on anything. I am going to be building these labs out for you guys in Killer Coda. Also, Ranger's cleaning himself vigorously. But CoroSync and Pacemake, I am going to put together into a set of labs for you guys. And I really think for people that want to get, and then you use PCS to check the health between them. Yep, PCSD, and get that on your systems. Yeah, and then I just show people how to make highly available systems. Kind of, I don't want to call it the poor man's way of doing it. Like these are big projects worth a lot of money that run these tools. They're enterprise grade. It's just you can put them together like you're just slapping some shingles on a roof. It's not like something that's super difficult to do. You just have to kind of figure it out. So yeah, open source tools are great, man. FOSS, free and open source. Hold on, so let me go. I gotta go fix this other thing again, so hold on. So CD to, actually I can just copy it from here. Where'd my thing go? Yeah, we're just gonna SCP this over to that node real quick too, so we have it. Oops. SCP and then we'll just go to CX and 1 temp. Just copy that over there. It's only 92 megs, so that's not a big deal. And then CD to temp, and then unzip. Right. So there it is right there, and then hopefully now my command will just work. I'll just go back off of temp again. Security data oval. Okay. One more time. We'll try to figure this out. Alright, none of these things are useful. Where did he get that from? I gotta figure out where this file is located in our cluster, because I know this file's in our cluster somewhere. So let me get back out of my node that I'm in. Go back to the root of the file system, find from here, name that. The full name. Where's it at in the whole cluster? Christian Delgado, how did I learn all this stuff? I learned all this stuff in the wild. Just out wandering around, picking it up as I went. There's a lot of troubleshooting, a lot of stuff that, like, I had a couple good mentors in my career, but for the most part I learned it all kind of in the wild. And that's one of the reasons I try to show it to you guys, is to make I tell my senior engineers in our Discord, our job is to make the road easier for the engineers that come after us. Yeah, I'm the wandering minstrel. Wandering, yep. It's actually funny, my brother Steve, he got called the wandering minstrel one time because we grew up not far from Glendale Community College out here in Glendale, Arizona. And my brother, when he was in he was in 9th grade, he was a freshman, he used to walk over to GCC, and he'd bring his guitar with him, and he'd go play guitar. He took a guitar class. And my mom said she was driving by, and she saw him walking with his guitar case, and she thought he was the wandering minstrel. I'm like, yeah, leave it to my mom to just give you a burn when you're trying to just, do stuff. Trying to have a good day, and your mom's out there burning you. That's my mom for you. Alright, so I'm trying to find something that should be in my environment, and I can't figure out where it is in my environment. So now I'm doing a find across ostensibly petabytes, but it should only have to go through some terabytes, so it should find it pretty quick. GWB, how's it going? Yeah, I was just talking about GCC, and I know you went there for a while, or were in that general area, and I was saying how we grew up not far from there, only about half a mile away, and my brother would walk over there with his guitar and play, and I played piano over there. So I think I told you guys I took one college class when I was younger on piano when I was in 8th grade. It was the summer after 8th grade. Yep, took a piano course over there. They jumped me right up into piano 3 because I had been playing my whole life, and it was good. It was a good course. I learned some good songs and stuff. Learned some good technique and stuff. But yeah, it was a fun time. This thing is not finding what I need it to find in my environment, so it's possible that this thing that I need doesn't exist anymore, which would be its own different problem. But yeah, but we're just hanging out right now. We're not doing too much, working too hard. All right. Yeah, the wife should be landing here in the next hour or so. And then she left her car down there at the airport. So then she's going to bring her friend to her friend's house and then come right back home. Excuse me. Man. So, hopefully find this thing that I need. Also, Google Docs is correcting my grammar. I said, about how long does it take to run this? And it showed the correction. I click on the correction. It says how. And I'm like, oh, okay. Okay, we don't need to say about how long this took. Or about how long did this take. We could just say how long did it take. I get that, but just trying to add some color commentary and make it a little more fun. That's according to Google, yeah. Google probably knows English better than most of us, I imagine. Yeah. Alright, so whatever this file is, it doesn't exist in our cluster. So, that's fun. Let's go from home. Nope, not there. Alright, well. See if it's here. No, it's gotta be in this environment. I gotta go find this. This is the weird thing about these nodes is we don't sync the environment on the admin nodes. So exit that. Go to 2. I have this somewhere. It's on a different. I have to, because there's no way this wouldn't have worked otherwise. I have to have this somewhere. It's not in temp. I don't know where this is, so I don't know how I originally built this then. I know I built it, I just don't know how I originally built it. So that's fun. Alright, so thankfully I keep pretty good notes, so I'm going to go look through my notes, because I know I built this from my notes. So now I got to go find it. Under my notes. It's part of my Stig process build out. So it's way back here. Yeah, when I was building this originally, it's the same exact way that I had done it everywhere else. So that's weird. Oh, maybe I build them and that node. Oh, I wonder if it's because my head nodes can get out to the network. I bet that's what it is. Frank L. What do you say? Marketing software? Yeah, there's a lot of it. There is. I try to stay on the open source side as much as I can, but you never know. Let me see if I can do this from the main node. So So there's all my there's all that. Alright, so let me try this from here. Shit. Now I gotta sudo up again. It's gonna take 45 minutes to go all the way up. At the end, all is fake. You can use whatever software you want. Yeah, so it's I dislike the new. There's this whole new model where like you don't own your car, you own the hardware and then you lease the software. I don't really like that model, and that's kind of becoming more and more of the model going forward for people. I'm a big fan of that. So let me go find my history over here. I'm gonna do here exit CD to like temp, CD to like Stigs, and then in here we'll just run that. So it's not found, huh? Something's definitely changed in this environment. So I wonder if this in here I can download this wget. So give me a second, guys. I'm figuring this stuff out. Well, I'm not gonna worry about that too much. That's gonna slow me down too much. I might have to remove this one lab though. Might pull this one out. I can't get it to work the way that I want it to, but that's not that big of a deal. I could just install this stupid tool on here and see. I'm just gonna run it. I'm just gonna install the stupid thing. Pull that off. Should go pull it. Alright, so I got that stupid thing to work. That seemed like more problems than it should have been, but I got it to work. So I will make them do this on the head node. I'll pull those things off. Verify you have OpenSCAP, run to see the commands. And then to run it, we're going to generate a shell script fix. Paste. Okay. And then verify the script is there. So before they do that, they're going to cd to verify the script is there, so and we'll do more. Christian Delgado, yeah, I have a whole bunch of lab. I have 3 bare metal machines that sit around here that do I run XCP-NG on top of them, so that tool is this one right here, XCP-NG. That's this tool here. It works pretty well. It's not nearly as well supported as it used to be, and they really try to push some of the Zen stuff on you. But I do like XCP-NG. I think it's a great tool, but the industry's kind of moved on from it. Inside of here, I run all kinds of Linux, all kinds of different Linux in the home lab. The one that most of you have access to, so everybody that's in our Discord has access to the Professional Linux Users Group Rocky servers, which are Rocky 1 through 19, and those are the ones everybody's using for labs right now. In fact, that's what the top right corner of the screen is showing you guys, those things updating themselves, and that's just a werewolf log that we're watching of like the servers pulling down their overlays and checking for things and stuff like that. So yeah, I run a couple of bare metal. So I have a half rack sitting behind me in my lab. I haven't used Proxmox, but a bunch of the guys in the server use Proxmox. That seems to be the one that's going forward, and that's going to be the one that seems more popular to me. And what I mean by that is, like, in the industry, companies are jumping off of ESXi right now and going to Proxmox. Like, they're actively going there. Like, if you go to 45 Drives, if you guys have never been to 45 Drives, I love them. They've got the Storinators, but then they've got the Proxinator now. So when you go look at 45 Drives, man, they've got such cool stuff. But now they've got the Storinator and the Stornado and the Storinator Hybrid and the Destroyinator. But then they also have the Proxinator, which is a new one. Oh man, I've built some pretty big beefy things out of these servers over the years in companies. But they've got one they're calling the Proxinator. So it's the same basic thing, but they're kind of leaning into that. Companies coming off of stuff, and it's pretty reasonable. This one's got 512 gigs of RAM for a new server in a company, and the density of disks you can get, it's relatively reasonable. So let's say that I wanted this and I went forward. Let's see what the costs look like. Let's say we don't need anything special. We've got the memory. We could go higher, but we'll stay there. Motherboard, all that kind of stuff. I imagine this is going to come right out of the box. You know, what kind of storage? What is that? Yeah, here's our drives. 5-year warranty standard. How many drives do I need? Maybe I need like 5 and 5 to start off, right? And then we come down here. We don't need the setup and configuration. We're going to do that crap ourselves. And then we can just do the general whatever. And then we're from the US. Quantity 1. Then we got to get our contact information. Oh my God, come on. Get out of here. Yeah, then we would have to get a quote from, but normally their servers are about 4,500 to start. But yeah, I built some Storinators over the years for people, and you just drop a bunch of big 16 terabyte disks nowadays in them. When I was doing it, they were only 10 terabyte disks were the biggest we could get back then, but now they're up to huge. Let's say I wanted to build one of these with massive amounts of drives. You could have up to 1.5 petabytes in a 4U. That's pretty big. It's pretty beefy. You put a few luster boxes. You build a few luster boxes out. You could have like 5 petabytes in under 12 12U. So that's pretty wild. Yeah. Anyway, so 45 drives is a fun one. And then they got funny names, and they'll paint these things any color you want. We got ours this super ugly green color. It was actually really funny. So, all right. Let me verify that script's there. That's important. So just more of that script, and then generate an Ansible fix script. Run your script. Will stig the entire head node to a fully stig standard. All right, so verify your scripts there. What do you notice? You pull out just one part and apply a stig somewhere. So again, guys, I'm building training in another window, so I know you guys can't see everything I'm doing, but we're sitting around hanging out. Robodom's telling you guys about the Discord. Discord's always going to be free. If you have any problems getting into the Discord on the YouTube or the Twitch side, just drop those links into like an incognito, and it seems to work just fine. I don't know if there's a timing thing on there or something weird with that that's been affecting people, but you should be able to get that going. All right, fix type. YAML and dash fix dash type is going to be still generating fix. We're still using the template and the profile. No longer using the template. And we're saying fix type is Ansible. Script.yaml. Okay. So we're going to grab that. And we're going to tell them to make sure they put their name on it. So they got to put their own name. I don't want them using my name. Generate Ansible script. Verify the playbook is there, and you're going to do more your remediation script. I guess I could call it playbook. Hopefully I'm not missing anything over there. Frank said it's more easy for me to deploy more hardware in a decentralized way. I guess all this hardware splitting is causing too much overhead and maintenance. Yeah, Frank, there are interesting things that happen. I know for us, in some of my operational roles, we found that like, ESXi or whatever is great, and we could probably get about 150 machines on the density that we have for our servers. But then we found, but because of the nature of like how sometimes things lock up, because ESXi has problems, every component that's a hardware component can fail even before you can eject everything off of it. So it's very possible that we would never go more than like 60, maybe if we really needed to, like 80 nodes in 80 like virtual machines on an ESXi box, even though our boxes could handle it more. It's just, it's like you're not putting all your eggs in one basket, but you're putting a lot of eggs in a basket. So there starts to be a point of like diminishing return where you start to go, well, is this really, do we want to do this? So, all right, let me ask the same question. What interesting things do you see about your playbook? Could you pull out one task and apply it to a node? So I asked them if they can apply this thing that I've shown them how to do to a node, and I want them to think about it. Do you think you could apply that stig to a container if you needed to? All right, That one's turned out a lot better than I was thinking it was going to be. So that's kind of good. That lab's moving along nicely. I thought I was going to have to scrap that lab, and now it's almost a whole thing. So I'm going to go 33. So I'm up to 33 pages now in my lab book. I think I'm going to just kind of unofficially shoot for 40 and hope to get to 40 pages, because I think that's a pretty good round number. I've got 32 hours of time to burn with these guys, and some of these are longer and more complex than others, so some are going to take more time. I also have about probably 10 to 15 hours worth of talking as well. Some of you guys that have been around know that I've been training people for a long time. I can stretch out what we're talking about and hopefully give them good information and heads up on all the things. So I really do have to start to hunker down, though. Like tomorrow I need to spend like some deep in time with this, getting, making sure that all this is right and looking the way I want it to. 45 Drives has some storage training for Seth. Nice. That's actually really cool. Yeah, Fire Hazard, if you find something useful for them, especially if it's free, let me know. I'll put it up in the Discord for everybody, because we have a lot of stuff where we try to find free stuff, because a lot of people that are into doing this are hobbyists, and they're not making, like senior principal engineer money. So I try to make everything that we start with free. And then some of the guys, there's guys who, we talk about going and traveling and doing stuff for events. Some guys want to go to the HPC thing next month, and if I hadn't been going out to do this training in Hawaii, I probably would have went out there. My company would probably send me if I asked them to anyways. But my point is, like, there's that for the senior guys, but for the junior guys, I'm trying to keep everything in their stuff as free as possible. So yeah, if you guys find cool stuff, I mean, by all means, please post it. Especially conferences. Like, I try to tell you guys about conferences. This month, I think 3 of them just passed, but there was like some really cool conferences, and I told guys that, like, that they could do a write-up, go and watch some of the virtual conferences and do a write-up, and I would give them a Humble Bundle pack or whatever. AI will replace us all, yeah. Well, I mean, I'll tell you what, if an AI can do what I was just doing right now, I'd be impressed. I'm sure it could find a million things online that would tell it to try to do it a certain way, but it still had to go figure out the command. I cannot, I had a college professor he really used to try to hammer that into us. He's like, don't just be the guy who codes, don't just be the guy who does whatever, be the guy who solves problems. But yeah, like, be somebody who solves, like, problems, be somebody who can find a solution to things, and then you'll always kind of be valuable. All right, guys, I gotta get up and walk around for a minute. We'll take a little break. You guys can keep hanging out, watching stuff. I'll leave Robodom in charge, because I know Robodom's around somewhere. He's also letting you guys know that there's Discord, and there's free stuff for you guys to go and hang out and talk with other engineers. In fact, let me go check the Discord. I think the guys might be down there. They might be studying down there right now. Let me go check. I don't see anybody studying right now, but we do have a free Linux Systems Administration course that has over 200 people signed up for it, and people are working on that stuff. So, all right, Robodom's in charge. I'm going to take a walk. I'll be back. Stretch my legs out. Yeah. Got more water. Got more water sitting here now. Yeah, I think the YouTube might not have ads right now. So that's kind of nice for people. I think people like not having to watch those kind of things. Although I could be wrong. Okay. So, wife should be coming home soon. I think she's landing here in Phoenix at about 8, and then she'll be home around 9. So I will leave that to everybody there. We got all those tools going. All right. I am up to. I need to go count my labs and how many are done. Again, that's no. We're up to 11, 20, 29. Uh-oh. I'm missing one. Need to go look at what I did. Did I break something down here? Heading 1. Alright. Go back up here. Refresh this thing. Alright, alright. So now we're at 20, 29, 32. So I'm at 32. With 31 out of 32 done. And our total pages are 33 right now. Okay. I'll move this down to 90, 90, 90, 90. Lecture. We'll say complete. I think lecture stuff was all complete here. I'll grab this and then say complete and complete. Hey, you guys let me know if you have any questions. Firehouse said it might be a fun topic to discuss. How do you distinguish between admin versus engineer and junior versus senior? I don't really know how high I should shoot in terms of positions because there's a lot I don't know, but also I'm fairly capable, engineering minded. Yeah. So fire hazard, I actually need to draw that out one day. I was talking about this the other day. There's kind of an there's a lot of people come in as admins. Here, let me pull something up real quick for you guys. Let me go to my Discord. I'm gonna change this to a different thing. Open this up. I'm gonna pull this thing for you guys. This is my Linux Systems Administration notes, and give me a second to show it to you guys. Some of you guys are gonna be like, "Oh God, he's pulling that thing up again." Yeah, I am. I'm not gonna apologize for it, guys. This thing makes sense to me. It's how I think of this, and I think that it's how most people should think about it. All right, so give me a second here. I'm gonna fix this to the right dock. There we go. Boom. And then if I turn that on, you guys should be able to see. I think that should look right for you guys. Do you guys see that all right? Let me know if you see that all right. As far as the PPDIOO, which is the prepare, plan, deploy, or design, implement, operate, and optimize. Tell me if you guys can see that okay. So this is the way that this comes from Cisco. This is a Cisco model for deploying networking stuff, but it works for engineering in general. And what it is if we have a system that's running, a network or a set of Linux servers or something like that, these are the 6 things generically that we need to do. We need to prepare, plan, design, and implement, and then operate and optimize. And if you think of this like a carousel that's always spinning, this over here is where sysadmins get on. They get on the operate or the optimize section typically. So sysadmins start over here. Systems engineer and project work and some architecture stuff touches this. But over here on the systems admin side, you get in operations. You do keep the lights on. This is called keep the lights on operations, right? So you're over here, you're working in a network operations center, a security operations center, a help desk. You're doing enterprise trouble tickets. You're maybe on an operations team, and then operations can be, there's a bunch of stuff over here to learn. Looks like agile software development lifecycle. Probably similar. They probably borrowed a lot from each other. Although I know PPDIO has been around a long time, right? And my point is, you get in over here and you're operating stuff, right? And I always tell you guys, like, if you work in a network operations center, you're probably working when you first get in as a junior engineer, or a junior admin. You're probably going to be like starting out in the 3rd shift, or you might get on in the day, but a lot of times you have to take that 3rd shift. And what I always ask you is, as you're running stuff and as you're going through a run book that somebody else developed and you're doing all these things, right? Are you actually trying to make things better? Or are you just putting in your 8 hours, reading a book, doing whatever, making sure no lights are coming on the dashboards? Like if you want to get over into these things, one way to do it is to keep making things better. And what I mean by that is, so you're an operator, right? You're here and you're running the system late at night and you have to solve a problem. Did you have documentation provided to you to solve that problem, or did you have to go figure it out yourself? And I'm going to tell you, a lot of times you're going to solve stuff yourself. Now, are you the type of person that then goes and fixes the documentation and sends out a note to everybody and says, hey, this is the updated doc in our media wiki or whatever tooling you're using? Like, are you the person that does that and updates that to people? Or do you just go, whatever, I'm just the late shift, nobody cares about me? Because I'll tell you, like, if there's 5 of you doing this knock stuff and 1 of you's doing it and 1 of you's not, and 4 of you are not, when that position opens up, that person that's doing the optimization and stuff might be the one that gets asked to go do some of this stuff and shadow along with an engineer, if that makes sense. Yeah, because you know who suffers the most when you don't update documentation? You, future you. And then you're sitting there going, past me was a jerk. I got to figure this whole shit out again. I got to figure 2 hours worth of crap out again because I don't remember where these damn docs are, right? And you don't take notes and you don't, like, that's a hassle, right? That's a real hassle. So this is a lot of times where sysadmins start over here. And, like, it starts to, the difference between, like, a junior admin and, like, a more senior admin has a lot to do with how well they understand the environment they're in. Like, how much are you in the environment? How much have you worked through different problems before? And like a senior admin may be the one who's like actually the one that is doing all the keeping operations running and fixing things and all that kind of stuff. So that's kind of my thoughts on this. And then to get over into engineering, it tends to be that you just have to get somebody to trust that you can design systems that you can then build and test out. So in engineering, I do a lot of proof of concept work. Like I do a lot of proving that something can work, and MVPs, minimum viable products. And if I can get something to work once, and if I can get it to do the things that it says it does in our environment, in a lower environment, typically like a dev, test, QA, then I can start working to productionalize it. And then when I start to productionalize things, it's this, like I may prepare, plan. Prepare is before you ever even touch anything. And then plan is as you start to build the initial MVP out, right? Minimum viable product or proof of concept, POC. And then you start to do the design, and the design is how is it going to be integrated with our network, and how is it going to work with our stuff. And then the implementation, this is hands-on steps. You're building exactly how it does things, and we're doing what I always tell you guys is called redlining. Redlining is where when, I build something and I say, okay, there's no way anybody could not understand this and do it. but then I send it over to like Wear My Teeth, and he does the lab. But then he's like, hey, on step 8, man, like you really left me hanging. I didn't know where to go. I had to go figure it out with this, and this. And he red lines my doc for me. He literally, if I gave him a page, he draws red lines through my shit that didn't work and says it needs to be better. And then I have to go back through this design again, typically design and documentation, and come back in, and then I give him the new doc with his recommendations, and he goes, 1 through 10 worked fine. Engineering and hands-on steps and building things are a lot like technical writing. Have you guys ever heard that technical writing has 4 C's to it? It's concise, it's clear, it's correct, and it's some other C that I don't remember. No, I'm just kidding. It's concise, clear, correct, and coherent. Those are the 4 things that you do in technical writing, right? Where I'm going with that is there's a thing about technical writing where we never let somebody wander. We bring them in, we walk them through. It's like, you ever been to like a TSA gate and you have to cut back through like those things like 300 times? You're just cutting back and forth between those little fabric things that are like walking you, or like the old banks, you know, you'd be like walking, like just they're herding you through. Well, if there's a break in one of those, all chaos is going to ensue because now people are just going to go wander everywhere, right? And I don't want you guys to be out wandering around, and you don't want yourself in the future or other engineers. Your documentation must take a person from place to place. Your technical writing must take a person from place to place with their 4 C's. I had a really good college professor that taught me that. It's the 4 C's of tech. And man, she was the closest I got to a B in my undergrad. I almost had a B in her class. I had all A's, but she almost kept me down at a B. But yeah, it's content, clarity, cohesiveness, and conciseness. So there's all of those. Anyways, all right. Hopefully that's clear as mud to you guys. Let me get back to my doc that I'm working on here. Let you guys go look at the Storinator for a little bit. I'm updating my training stuff. And grab that. Boom. Send this over to management. Wear My Teeth. Technical writing is the most underrated portion of programming and engineering. There's a lot of tribal knowledge that would help if it's documented. I have 100%. Most engineers don't go through technical writing class. That's fair. Yeah, that's fair. And I had it was a business class I was in when I was doing my MBA. And I remember reading a case study. I've told you guys this before, so some of you are probably going to be like, oh, Scott's talking about that freaking mechanic again. And there was this mechanic, and what he said was, he was a mechanic. He was a guy who started a series of garages in like California. Are you saying I should take? I would, if you're in school, I would absolutely take that. I mean, if it's that or like basket weaving, I would definitely do technical writing. 100%. But the story goes like this. This guy, he was a mechanic. He wasn't a terribly there wasn't anything special about this guy. Like you wouldn't call him brilliant or anything. I mean, you probably would call him brilliant when you hear the story, but the guy would tell you he wasn't overly smart, but he had this whole, like, he had started a garage in California, and then he had like 60 garages in California, like working on cars. And I don't know if you guys know, but like if you run a successful garage and then, you know, you're doing successful work, you're probably making, you know, let's lowball it, $500K a year, let's say. A successful garage that's staying busy with your mechanics and stuff. And he had like 60 of them. So this guy's doing real good, right? He's doing real good. And they went to him, and this case study was about like what were some of your tricks? How did you view business, right? He wasn't classically trained. He was a mechanic. And he just happened to, And he said something that was so profound with me that it stuck with me. He said, I learned very early on in running my business that people would decide how well they thought I could rebuild an engine by how clean my bathroom was. He had all the he had brought people in, and they had done this and this and this, and it wasn't that he was like doing studies on people. He just noticed that people judged him and judged his garages by how clean they were, specifically the bathrooms. But he was talking specifically about bathrooms, but in general. And it's like, and then you start thinking about that, and you go, hold on. Have you guys ever been, like, I don't know if you guys live anywhere where there's a thing called Circle K. Circle K is big in Phoenix. It's actually headquartered out here. But you take a Circle K, and those places tend to be pretty filthy. Yeah, or any truck stop. But you go to like a QT, or some of you guys back east, Wawa. Those places are so effing nice. And actually with QT, they pay their people really well. They're always clean. They always say hello when you walk in. And there's a reason they do that, because if there's a shift that has these special shoppers come in, at the end of the week, if they did everything correct, like they welcomed him in, they said, hey, everything was clean, people were doing stuff, everybody on those shifts gets like a $150 bonus or something. It's like this wild thing. So these guys are always doing that. So anyways, the point is, they're just keeping stuff clean all the time. And I don't know if you've ever been in a QT or a Wawa. Those two places are always super clean. Yeah. Oh, we were back east. We were in Virginia last year, me and the wife, about this time last year. We were in Virginia and North Carolina, and I was telling her about Wawa, so we went in there, and it was super clean. And I got there, I was like, oh, they got the little egg rolls on the rollers, and it was super funny, guys. The egg rolls on the rollers were the same ones that we have out here in QT, and I was like, oh shoot, they must buy them from the same place. Hey Raiders, how's it going? And Cerberus, how's it going? How was your stream? What were you guys working on? I am kind of co-working right now, and my general motto is I'm not working too hard. So hopefully this stuff's useful to you guys. Rust disassembler. I don't even know how to assemble a rust. Also, doesn't rust naturally disassemble metal? So isn't a rust? Anyways, all right. I'm just kidding. I'm putting together training on this other. On my other screen here for a contract that I'm going to have to go next week. This time next week, I'll be in Hawaii giving training at a big data center out there. And it's kind of funny. It's like, oh no, I got to go to Hawaii. Don't throw me in the briar patch, you know? So. Oh, is that what that is, Robodom? I don't know. I'm not a programmer. You guys know that. Let me look at my screens here. I do want this one. This one's going to be important. How do we remove and add nodes? That's going to be important. How do we... I'm going to give them the steps if they ever need to delete a node, but I'm not gonna make them I'm not gonna make them do this. I'm gonna like put this at the end and call it like a theoretical lab. So removing a node or making a new node with a name. I think that'll be a good one. So, all right. But yeah, we're just working through stuff, and then whenever we talk about something like ZoneMinder up there, we were talking about that earlier, so I left that up, and that's just an open source tool that you can use to aggregate a bunch of your cameras if you have a bunch of open source cameras or something like that. And then we were talking a little bit about CoreSync and Pacemaker, and I'm gonna update and put some labs together for those on Killer Coda for you guys, so you guys can practice building those out. And just have like a web server on 2 nodes. One of them gets the VIP, and that's the primary. And then when he goes down, the other one gets the VIP. And you can do that by flipping their ports just to prove that it fails over between the 2 of them and that kind of stuff. Yep, that's where we're at right now. We're just hanging out, and then people were asking me about XCPNG, which is what I use in my home lab. Um, I'm pretty ambivalent to what we use for any of our really whatever we're using for our virtualization. I think as long as it builds you virtual machines and then you can control it with some kind of infrastructure as code, I'm okay with that. I happen to use Ansible in mine for the most part, but other people want to use Terraform, and Proxmox has more providers in Terraform than XCPNG, which has no providers in Terraform. So you can't really use those together, those two tools. So. All right. So, yeah, I'm doing all my my stuff over here. And oh yeah, we've got Discord. You guys are welcome to hang out down in Discord if you ever want to. Robedown, I don't know if you mind telling the people about the Discord, but that's always free. You guys are welcome to hang with other engineers if you want. We got 3,000 people in there now, so that's kind of cool. So that's a lot of engineers. We're running a 16-week Linux systems administration course down there that's free. It starts on, it started 6 weeks ago now. It ends right at the end of the year. It's down in the Prologue project section if you're interested. Not Prologue, whatever. So this is what we're doing here. Just hanging out. Not working too hard. I'm going to say that is done. Pretty good on that tool. I think we got that one. I'm going through a document that I had built about 2 weeks ago or 2 months ago with one of my bosses, and now I'm making sure that I've pulled everything I need to into my training, and then I'm just going to keep filling up the training as I go. And I think I need to do these last two things here. I'm just going to highlight this text for now. There we go. All right. Yep, that's what I'm doing right now. Hopefully the wife tells me she's touched down soon in Phoenix, and then I'll just wait for her to get home. M4600. Hello, Scott. This is an off-topic question. Is Postfix used in the industry? Have you had to work with? Yeah, I've used Postfix quite a bit. Yeah, we use Postfix every now and then. It just depends on what you need it for. I mean, are you trying to send an email with it, or are you trying to just send some kind of messages between your boxes? What are you trying to use? I mean, yeah, but Postfix does work just fine. Yep. You can add in certificates with it, and you can cause it to send secure SMTPS instead of just SMTP, which is simple mail transport protocol. But you can make it secure if you want. You can make your devices only communicate with known mail servers if you want. And it's typically Etsy postfix.mc, is it? That sounds, I'm not sure, but it's or CF, something like that. And there's a weird configuration. I remember. Let me go look on the server if I can find one. Hold on. Etsy postfix. So it's Etsy postfix, and then in there, it's your master and main.cf. Master.cf will, actually, am I showing that on the screen here? No, I'm on the wrong one. Hold on. Let me go pull up on this other one that you guys can see here. So give me a second here. Move it over here. Maybe this one will have it. And then you got your main.cf. And it's super weird because you've got all of these, as you're looking at things, you should see, no, this isn't the file, that's weird. This one's fine. Let's go see if it's the other one. Ah, yeah, it's this one. This one's the weird one. So, yeah, you can see services that it's going to work, and then you can use postfix reload when you're done, obviously. You can see ports and other things in here, and different services that it can do, and then you can go read about it. It's pretty straightforward to set up. I don't think anything's going to trick you with it, but these are locations you go if you want to be able to send emails and stuff. And you just need a mail relay that you trust, typically. So, it's looking for job posting, but don't know what the main reason is. It's just email. Just email. Send messages. You can even have like your system. So if you've ever done something and then when you hit enter, root says you have mail, you can send that mail off the server if you want. The mail that's like system message mail, you can do that if you want. You can also disable all that stuff if you want to. But yeah, it's just an email. It's an email client for servers to send mail off them. You just configure your relay in here. Main.cf and master.cf, but I forget. I haven't done this in a while, but there's nothing that's going to trip you up in here, because typically, yeah, you're going to have your domain, and then you should have, yeah, if you have any proxies, if you allow all the protocols or not, and if you're going to use IPv6 protocols, that's important. And then, yeah, if you're going to allow, where's that? Hold on. If you have any relays, and then, yeah, where you're sending your data to. Yeah. So then you just, find somebody that's set it up before. You find something online that shows you how to do it. But I don't think you're gonna get stuck too much. It's pretty simple to get it basically started. And then once you prove you can get it started, then you can work on securing it and that kind of stuff. It's one of these things, once I get one email to send, then I can go and look at all this other stuff. Yeah. So yeah, it's in here. Etsy postfix. And it just does mail. It's SMTP. Simple simple mail transfer protocol. So, yep, there you go. All right, so I already sent up my report for the day. I got a good amount done. Not maybe as much as I wanted, but I did get a good amount done today. And stuff. Where are my teeth? You said I'm learning about IPv4 routers, handle communication with IPv6 routers. Super interesting. Yeah, nice. Where are my teeth? Have you ever seen the free certification for IPv6 that's out there? It's in our Discord. There's a free IPv6. It's right here. I'll just link it to you guys here real quick. Hold on. Where's Ranger at? Where's Ranger Cam at? If you go over here, it's ip.he. Is that right? Yeah, these guys. Hurricane Electric. These guys, and they will. I don't care if you guys know my home address, by the way. They have a cert here for IPv6, and you can go and do IPv6 cert, and then at least have that on there. Yeah. I'll just link it to you guys all. Yeah, go do it. Let me know how it goes. Some of our guys have done it. Some of the guys really like it, and it gets you ready for. I mean, it's just look, guys. Anything like this is just one more thing to put on a resume. And at one point, they had a shirt that they gave you too. I don't know if they still do that or not, though. Nice Fire Hazard. Yep. Yeah, that's a free cert, and you know, they train you how to do stuff as a internet service provider did. So you could, if you had nothing on your resume, guys, I know some of you do, but let's just say you had nothing. You were like my little penguin guy sitting there with his little thing, and he's like, we're not working too hard, but you just wanted to have something on your resume. You could go do that, and then you can say, I have this certification. I was trained in IPv6 by a worldwide networking, network provider, because you were, you literally were. And then we have a bunch of other ones that are like that in our Discord, just different certs and stuff that we know that are out there that are free for you guys to take. And it's just stuff to, man, I mean, just pump up your numbers, however you're gonna do it. Just pump them up. So. Yeah, I mean, look, the goal is to get you guys doing this stuff professionally, and a big part of doing this professionally is getting over that hurdle of getting a job. And getting a job and getting into the industry tends to be, I mean, if you were to ask me what's the hardest thing, looking at the thousands of engineers I've trained over the years and had as college students, I would 100% tell you that the hardest thing for these people is getting is getting into the field, getting that first job, getting those, so then what's right before that? Proving that you can do the job. Because there's two things an interview wants to show, guys. There's two things. Can you do the job, and will you do the job? Can you do the job tends to be pretty easy. Most people make that decision in probably under 5 minutes. But will you do the job? Are you a person who, like, constantly is moving forward and trying to figure things out? And or do you just sit back and kind of go, I got the job, and I'm the third shift guy. I'm that anchor, I run the system at night and keep the system up. Well, that's good. That's noble. You probably have a pretty good career doing that for 20 years. If you want to work on a night shift for 20 years, sure. But or are you the person who works on the night shift, and every time that boss comes in, things are better than the night before, and they're like, damn, man, this guy's like, he's not just there. He's there, like, hammering away and making this a better system and squeezing more life out of our system and giving us more uptime and making our documentation better and all this and this, and that's valuable, right? So, all right, something to think about there. All right, guys, I'm gonna find somebody to raid. We did get raided a little while ago, and I do appreciate you guys coming in on the raid. But let's go find somebody else to raid. Let's raid it forward, right? And we'll go find somebody here. Let me pull this thing out to the side here. Go to Twitch. Fortunately, I have nothing for you guys on YouTube. You guys on YouTube just fall off into the that last good night. But here's let me go find somebody to raid. Let's see who's doing stuff out there in the world, who's online, who am I following? Oh, we got to go hit up Simon. If you guys don't know Midnight Simon, he's my boy. We're gonna go hit up Midnight Simon, and the raid thing will be just our do all the Linux or Rage, and I will see some of you tomorrow night. I should be streaming tomorrow night. I might be doing some more of this co-working stuff and probably working on a college paper that I'm writing, so I'll be busy. I'm a busy guy, so I will see some of you guys later. Take care.